Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. I'm really excited today to do my 4th month of reading like a BookTube friend. And for April, the spinner wheel chose Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand. I had a little bit of an idea of what I wanted to read for Sarah, but I didn't have anything set in stone. So I was able to message Sarah and tell her that I picked her name, and we together came up with a list of 3 books that would be perfect. And when I did the spinner wheel in my TBR in April, many of you immediately were like, are you reading Daisy Darker? Are you reading this? Are you reading that? Are you going to read an Alice Feeney book? I think Daisy Darker is an Alice Feeney book. Anyways, I am not, because part of my goal for this project is also to read books that are already on my shelves. So right away, I knew Sarah reads a lot of fantasy, and she does read some thriller, dark stuff, and she also likes kind of contemporary romance with a little bit of historical, like she likes a little bit of everything like I do. So I knew we were going to be able to find some good books for sure. We decided right away, I'm not going to read Taylor Jenkins Reid, who is one of her favorites when it comes to contemporary, but she also really likes Emily Henry. And I hadn't yet read Book Lovers. So we decided to put Book Lovers on the pile. This is a contemporary rom-com type of a romance book. And in this one, both of our main love interests are in the publishing industry. I think one is an editor and one is an agent. But there's also some family relationships and family dynamics, and this whole plays with some tropes that are in rom-com movies. I think our main character's name is Nora. She's named after Nora Ephron, who was producer or director or something of a lot of my favorite rom-coms from the 90s. This, I feel, fits the contemporary side of Sarah's reading. So this is definitely one of my choices. I also pretty much knew I wanted something fantasy because Sarah does read a lot more fantasy than I do. So when I thought about Sarah and books that she loved, I immediately thought of Addie LaRue. So when I first contacted her, I already had this in mind, and she's like, yeah, absolutely. This is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I have found this to be very polarizing from people that I've heard talk about this book. Some people love it, some people hate it, and I haven't heard a lot of in between. So I'm very curious where I'm going to stand. This is a little bit fantasy, but it's not kind of an epic or a high fantasy. In the beginning of this book, Addie LaRue is in the 1700s, and she meets a mysterious dark stranger, kind of makes a deal with the devil, and gets immortal life. She's never going to die. However, she's also going to be forgotten immediately after she leaves anybody's presence. So even if she goes to run to the bathroom, she'll come back and those people will not remember her. Until one day somebody does. So I don't know much more about the story than that. I've heard some mixed things, like I said, but Sarah is one of those people who really, really loves this one. So I had to put it on my pile to read like Sarah. So we have a fantasy, we have a contemporary, and then I was thinking we need some kind of a thriller. The only real thriller author that I know Sarah has read and loved is Riley Sager, that I own. And yet I was kind of holding on my Riley Sagers until I get Audrey from Chapters and Converse, because Audrey's going to be a much harder find for me. I'm going to have a much harder time finding some Audrey books. And so I really wanted to save Riley Sager. But Sarah and I decided, I have 2 Riley Sagers on my shelf, and we saved the other one because that's Audrey's favorite. But Sarah also really liked Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, so I added this to my pile. However, Sarah doesn't know this. I'm changing things up. Instead of doing that thriller, I'm changing things up because recently I shared with you in a book haul my Once Upon a Book Club book box that came. I am now a VIP with them. I have a code. It's going to be in all of my video descriptions from now on. But the most recent box that I received from them had this book, Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth McNeil. And anytime I see a circus book, I immediately think of Sarah because she loves books that are set at a circus. And this one I think also works well for Sarah because not only is it set at a circus, it's historical, which she does enjoy, but it's going to deal with kind of like the oddities. Our main character is going to be Nell, who is sold to the ringmaster as a leopard girl because of the birthmarks that cover her body. She's devastated to have to be a part of the circus, but she also kind of finds a new freedom there and some power as well because of the way she's viewed by other people. So it's going to kind of get on the dark side of things a little bit, which I think would appeal to Sarah as well. So I'm switching out Home Before Dark, which I really honestly wasn't that thrilled to be reading right now. I feel like spring is not when I want to read this, but I'm switching it out for Circus of Wonders. So the fun thing is that in this book, there will be spots that will have a little post-it that says open your gift. And then I will have a corresponding package to open. And you will get to go on that fun journey with me. So that'll be fun because I'll get to unbox some things and talk a little bit more about Once Upon a Book Club. But also, I do feel like this is a good Sarah book. So these are the 3 books: Circus of Wonders, Book Lovers, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Those are the books I'm going to read in April to read like Sarah. I think I did good. She did good too. We did good together. I think we did good coming up with a list that matches her. Sorry about switching out this one, Sarah. It's just not going to happen. But here's the 3. So stay tuned to see what I think about these ones. All right. I read my first Read Like Sarah book, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I started with this one because this is kind of the mood that I was in as April got going. I needed something a little lighter and a little not fantasy. So I started with Book Lovers and I really, really enjoyed this book. I wasn't sure what I was going to think because I enjoyed Beach Read, but I did not so much enjoy People We Meet on Vacation. There were parts that I liked, but I think I liked this one the best out of all 3 so far. In this one, we follow Nora, who is an agent, a literary agent, very much a city girl, very much a go-getter, very ambitious. And I love, especially at the beginning, how it kind of plays on all the tropes. She jokes that she's the city girlfriend that gets left behind as the boyfriends have to go for their jobs to the small towns and then fall in love with the baker or the shop owner or whatever, which you see in so many different like Hallmark movies and books, right? Nora herself is named for Nora Ephron, who is a 1990s director, writer, who did all those wonderful rom-coms of the 90s that I love. And a lot of them do follow that trope. And so she actually lives through this experience multiple times where her boyfriends leave her for the small town girl and leave her for small town life. And she loves the city, unashamedly loves the city. She early on has an interaction with an editor that she tries to get to edit one of her books that she's working on. And he is not very interested. And they have a fun kind of bantery exchange, even in that first exchange. I loved the way that their conversation went. That's something that Emily Henry, I think, does well with, is banter. She does really well with banter. Anyways, Nora has a sister, and their mom passed away a number of years ago when they were teenagers, I believe, or late teenagers. And Nora has always felt very responsible for her sister. Her sister Libby is a little bit more, well, married early, has nieces, has 2 daughters, and Nora loves her nieces, but has always just really felt the need to take care of Libby since their mom has passed. She feels like she needs to be the strong one, and the relationship is almost a little too codependent, if you will. It's not super healthy, but the sister relationship is a big part of this story. And at one point, Libby convinces Nora that they need to go to Sunshine Falls, which is the place of this rom-com book that Nora had been working on early on in the story. So Sunshine Falls the book becomes a big hit. So Libby and Nora travel to Sunshine Falls, and it's not exactly what it's cracked up to be. And lo and behold, Charlie, that editor, is there, and they keep bumping into each other and having these experiences together. And of course, that's going to be the love interest. It's a little bit predictable at times, but I did appreciate the backstory of all of these people and the struggles that they do have to work throughout this book. I loved the sister relationship. Even though it wasn't particularly healthy, I liked that they had to work through a lot of things. I also, like I said, enjoyed the banter very much. What I did not love is is the language. Every once in a while an F-bomb is dropped, and I just felt like it was not necessary. It wasn't consistent. It was maybe 4 times in the book, 4 or 5 times throughout the book. I'm like, why is that even needed? Ugh, I just don't love that. And there's some heat, if you will, between Charlie and Nora, and there is one scene that I just kind of skimmed through. So there's only one really like bedroom scene. There's a couple other times where it gets a little heated, a little passionate, but I overall just really, really enjoyed this book. I loved that it was so bookish. I loved that one's an editor and one main character is an editor and one is an agent. And I love the family dynamics, the sisters and all that they had to work through. And I love Charlie's story and the things he had to work through as well. So I liked that there was a little bit of depth in this. It wasn't just a straight rom-com, and I just really enjoyed it. So yay, Sarah, for making me pick this up off my shelves finally. Okay, so last night I started reading Circus of Wonders, and I'm 86 pages in. So far, I'm really enjoying it. There are a few parts that have been a little bit slow, but we follow Nell, who is this young girl. She's 19, I think, at the beginning of this book, and she has these birthmarks all over her body, which have caused her to be bullied by the people in her town. She always tries to kind of hide herself and just do her business and stay out of any kind of attention or limelight because she never knows how people are going to respond to her. She's very poor. She has a brother who she loves very much, and her brother loves her, and they're very connected. And then their dad, who's kind of like a bum. But then we also follow Jasper and Toby, who are brothers, and Jasper created this circus of wonders, collecting animals and people who have differences, abnormalities, and trying to make it in the circus world. Jasper has let the power go to his head. His brother Toby is a little bit different, younger, a little more simple-minded, very large for his age, I guess. And Jasper and Toby together when they were young talked about creating this circus, but something happened involving a man named Dash that we don't know yet what happened to Dash. All we know is that Dash is now dead, and Toby had something to do with it, but that kind of changed everything, and Jasper kind of decided on his own that he is going to be the one to lead the circus, and Toby's going to help out, but not be like, it's not going to be the brothers' circus. It's going to be Jasper Jupiter's circus. So the power is going to Jasper's head, and then we learn that Nell's dad sells her to Jasper to get rid of her, get some money, and now Nell is trying to figure out if she wants to be a part of this circus or not. She finally is seeing how these other women in particular who have differences are respected in a way and have a lot of freedom that she just never has experienced in her life. And she's starting to bond a little bit with Toby. So on page 86, there was a little sign that said, open your gift here, or open your gift. It was right underneath the line where Toby, who's a photographer, pegs her image to a washing line. So he had just taken her picture for the new pamphlets for the circus and all that. So when I did this at Christmas, all of the gifts had something to do with the parts that were marked. So I'm wondering if this is going to have some kind of clothespins or something about the or about the character that she's being given, which is Queen of Moon and Stars. I don't know. Let's see together. Here we go. Oop. Oh, cool. Here's a print of photographs from probably old circuses. A little person, a woman holding snakes, and another woman who does have birthmarks all over her body. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh yeah. It's a bag of clothespins. That's funny. Are they just clear? Oh, they're lights. It's a string of lights, but they're in the shape of clothespins. Can I turn it on? Oh, I need to put batteries. I need to put batteries in it. But it's a string of lights that are shaped like clothespins. That's creative. Maybe I'll have to hang that on here. It's darker. On the white shelves, I'm not sure that you'd see them even. That's kind of fun. Very cool. That's my first gift. And that print, which I kind of like as well. And honestly, this little box is nice. If I just put something different on the top of it, it's a nice little box. It has a little magnetized front here. I could definitely put something on there. So fun. That's gift number 1. Stay tuned for the next one. Okay, I made it to the next open your gift marking here, and the sentence is, before she can change her mind, she reaches into her pillowcase and rips the seams. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be pillowcases, which I can always use more of those. I love these little bags, and look at this one has circus pictures on it, which is kind of fun and appropriate for this book. I'm still really enjoying the book. This is page 158, so I'm about halfway, I'd say. Yeah, I'm just about exactly halfway. So, but there are still 2 more things to go. So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I wonder if it's like, oh, it is. They're square. It's just one square pillowcase. Oh, it's kind of weird. A tree looking creature holding a girl. I don't love it, to be honest. I am not going to use this. The tree has wings. I don't know. That does not look very appealing to me, but it's nice. It has a little, oh, and there's some coins. That's kind of cool. They're just kind of, they're hard to see. 3? Why are there only 3? She just gave someone some coins. I won't say who, because that's kind of spoilery. Interesting. Okay, well, this was a weird one. Is there a zipper? Oh, so there's like a pocket. This is just a pocket in the pillow, because the zip to put the pillow in is up here. Okay, so it's a pocket pillow. I don't know what to do with those coins. All right, I probably, honestly, am not going to keep this one. This is going to go in my, I don't know where. I'm taking some things to a consignment shop. Maybe this will go to the consignment shop. It's brand new. I don't know. Tell me what you think of that one. Okay, weird. I'm going to keep going. I probably will get, the next one is only 30 more pages, page 181. And then the last one is going to be a book, I can tell. But I don't know if it's a journal, because it kind of feels, it's hardcover, and it feels like a journal rather than an actual book, like a fiction or something. I guess I will have to wait and see, but I am still really enjoying this. There are a couple parts that have been a little bit slower, but for the most part, I'm into it. So I'm going to keep going. Stay tuned. All right, I made it to page 181. Got another sticker that says, open your gift. Right after Stella gives Dash a ring. She gave a gift. It was a gold signet ring and carved with the initials EWD. So I'm assuming this is going to be a ring. It was in a blue box in the book as well. And it is. It's a ring with the initials EWD on it, which I'm sad that there are initials on there, because I might wear a little ring. It probably fits right on my pinky. I might wear that ring, but not with the initials EWD. Maybe I could turn it this way. I could wear that. That's funny. EWD. I'm a little bummed. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's exactly what's in the book. Oh, maybe that's just a sticker. Okay, it says something. She will become outstanding. It's hard to see. If I put it in front of here, she will become something. It's in cursive, and I can't get the rest of the sticker goo off of it. I have goo gone. I'm glad that EWD thing was just a sticker, though. Outstanding? Why are there only one T? Extraordinary? EXTRODI. Extraordinary. Extraordinary, not outstanding. She will become extraordinary. Oh, that's cool. There we go. A little ring. She will become extraordinary. That's much better than an EWD ring. Cute. I might have to give that to my sister though. Anyways, fun. Take that sticker right off the box. Nice little box too. Okay. One left when I get to 264, and that was 181. So it's possible I'll get there tonight. We'll see. Hello friends. I am at work and I'm determined to finish Circus of Wonders today. And I just got to the last little open your gift section, and it says open your gift, and the sentence where it says open your gift, it talks about a book of fairy tales that Nell and Toby like to read. So I'm thinking this is possibly a book of fairy tales. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty. It's very pretty. That's the back. Grimm's Fairy Tales, illustrated by Arthur Rackham. Oh, the edges are really pretty. Can you see that? Like pink. This is beautiful. I want to find an illustration. It's hard to do this one-handed. Look at this. I know that Nell often refers to the Little Mermaid as she's talking. So this has a whole bunch in here. The Frog King, the companionship of the cat and the mouse, the nightingale and the blindworm, the wolf and the 7 kids, the 3 little men in the forest, Rapunzel. I don't know a lot of these. Is this all? Looks like there's 86 in here, but the beautiful illustrations are going to be very cool. I don't know that I've ever read most original fairy tales. Oh, there's the spine. It's very pretty. That's probably my favorite thing that I got from this package. The ring, I don't need. The pillow cover, I will not use. And the fairy lights that are clothespins are pretty cool. Weird that they're clothespins, but it is what it is. But I am very interested in finishing this book, and I will share my thoughts with you when I finish. I doubt I'll get to finish at work today, but I'll probably finish tonight. The goal is to get done today. We'll see. All right. It has been a couple weeks since I finished Circus of Wonder, and now I've gone on and finished my third Sarah book as well. I finished Addie LaRue. So I'm just going to talk about both of these here. You've kind of heard my thoughts about this one along the way a little bit as I've opened my gifts that came in my Once Upon a Book Club box. I will say that I didn't love this book very much. I was invested while I was reading it. The story of Nell, I thought the ending was pretty intense, and Jasper was just the worst. And it definitely has all the circus vibes, which Sarah loves in a book. So I do think Sarah might like this one more than me, but overall, I feel like the pacing was a little bit slow at times, and I was just waiting and wanting the next thing to happen. It felt a little bit repetitive. I think overall, I'm going to give this a 3 stars. It was okay, but it wasn't fantastic. And I don't remember what else I've even said about it because it's been a while. So sorry if there's not much more than that, but I did like the growth that Nell showed throughout the story and the way that she came to accept herself even more and reached outside of herself to help other people towards the end of the book as well, and how she found love. And even at the end, how she didn't allow herself to be tied down to anyone, and she kind of wanted to stand on her own 2 feet. And that was a big part of the story. As she kind of learned that she had the ability to even do that and not be completely dependent on other people. So I did like that part of it very much. And I loved all the circus vibes for sure. But Jasper was just the worst. I think that's all I need to say about this one. Hopefully I said enough in the other ones to give you a bigger picture of that. It's been a while. But the other day I also just finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And this is one that has definitely had some mixed reviews from people, mixed reactions from people. Sarah is one who 1000% loves this. It has become a favorite of all time for her. And I'm going to say that I definitely do not feel the same way about it. I just really, Addie got under my skin a little bit, and I just really didn't care for her character. Some of the choices she made early on were very frustrating to me. I really loved the character of Henry in this book, and the more scenes that we had with Henry, the more I liked the book. I was invested. I did want to continue, but there was there was one whole part of the storyline involving Addie and this creature, demon, whatever you want to call him, little devil that she made the deal with, a part of the story that involved both of them midway through the book that I just was not on board with at all. I couldn't stand it. Actually, it was very frustrating. And I felt like the story focused on, okay, so the story is that Addie makes a deal early on in the book where she wants to live life and experience things and not be tied down. She gets that in return for, but as part of that deal, nobody's ever going to remember her. So she has this freedom that she wanted, and she has the time that she wanted, but nobody will remember her. So she, in the process, is not able to, she's not able to have anything to hold her down. She is totally free. So she can't have a place to stay. She can't have any relationships. She can't even say her own name. Nothing to tie her down. Like, this creature, whatever, took her request to a T, very, very, very literally. So nothing to tie her down, and she's very free, but she also isn't allowed to have anything of her own. So everything that she gets, she has to steal, and she has to find a way to make money in order to travel and to get things, whatever. It just, I don't know. I just didn't love it. I just didn't love it. But it was a good story. It was a captivating story. I didn't like the choices that Addie made in order to get money. And I didn't like that we hear about her learning languages and the traveling that she has done, but really it just focuses on her in Paris. And so we're just told that she's done all these other things. But by the time, we kind of go, the timeline is not linear. So we kind of are 300 years into her curse, and then we go back to the early days and learn about what happened. So we don't learn about what happened right at the very beginning. I did like that we kind of jumped around a little bit. It was a little confusing at times, but I did like that. I just felt like sometimes there was a little bit more telling than showing, but also it's already pretty long. And I felt like at some parts, I was like, okay, we get it. Can we move on to the part where something changes? Because I'm tired of hearing this again, just in a different way. So it did feel slightly repetitive at times. I don't know. It just wasn't a hit for me. And I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. So sadly, Sarah's reads were not hits for me. I really liked Book Lovers by Emily Henry. That's easily my favorite of the three that I read, like Sarah. And then these two, I'm both giving 3 stars to. Like, they were okay, but they were not my favorites, and they're not going to stay on my shelves. Actually, I'm going to see if Sarah owns this one. Sarah, do you own this one? No. It was kind of fun to pick this one and not tell Sarah what I was picking, because it drove her nuts. She really wanted to know. And I do think maybe she'll like it. I just feel like it might be a little slow for Sarah as well. But because of all the circusy aspects of it, which Sarah really loves, she'll like that one. And I'm sorry that I didn't love Addie LaRue, but I finished it. So these are both getting 3 stars. And what did I give this one? Maybe 4? I can't remember. So not the best of my Read Like a BookTube Friend results, but it was still a fun project. Sarah, we are not book twins, but that's okay. I still love you. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Have you read any of the 3 of these? What did you think about them? Did you feel the same as I did? Did you feel differently than me? That's okay too. I can still be your friend. But I would love to chat with you in the comments about these 3 books, about my Read Like a BookTube Friend project. I've heard from some of you that you are reading like some of your BookTube favorites, or other friends in your life, and you're doing that as well. And I love that you're taking it and running with it and making it your own. That's really fun. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you being here. I look forward to talking with you in the comments and in another video very soon. Bye.